Hi, this is Janet Wakeland with RemarkablyCreated.com and the Remarkable Stampers. In today's edition of My Digital Studio Monday, we're going to create the page that you see on the screen together. So let's go ahead and get started. You want to open a new project and you want to select 12 by 12 as your starting project size. So I'm going to come up here for myself and I'm going to insert a page so that I have a blank 12 by 12 as well. When you first open a project, you may see the gray boxes and the bleed area that's on. I find them distracting to work with. I just periodically check them from time to time. And if you're like me, all you're going to do is simply come up here to View, come down here to Bleed Area, see where the check mark is next to bleed area, and just uncheck that. What the bleed area is it's the areas that you might potentially lose when having your project bound, either with spiral binding in a book, or if you are using a printer or print services that don't print all the way to the edge of the paper. So first thing that we're going to do is I'm going to add a photo box, and I want my photo box to be 11 and a half. So I'm going to take this over here to the half. Actually, I want it to be 11 and a quarter by the same amount down here, 3/4, so I have a border. And then I'm going to move that into the center, and we are going to paper fill this with white paper, cardstock, open. Now remember, there are different ways of adding paper to your project. A lot of times it depends on what it is that you intend to do with it. In this time I want a mat around it and I want it quickly and easily, so I'm just going to make it as large as possible. I'm going to change this. I'm going to add Midnight Muse. It's my new favorite blue. And now you can see that I have a little bit of a blue edge the whole way around, so I've matted my paper. Next thing I want to do is I'm going to add another photo box. And I'm going to put it up here in the corner again. And if you watch along the ruler, you'll see a red line. And I'm going to make that 8.5 by 10.5. And then I'm going to keep that over here, down a little bit lower. And I want to paper fill this now. I'm going to add paper. And the paper that I'm working with is T for 2. It is new My Digital Studio download that is available in the 2013 spring catalog. You're going to want this. It is absolutely beautiful. And you're going to want it as the traditional designer series paper for your traditional crafting or for hybrid projects. And then you're going to want it as a My Digital Studio download just because there are so many beautiful pieces. Look at that. It's just absolutely amazing and wonderful paper. So let's pick our beautiful blue here, and we're going to fill that in, and I'm going to just click OK. I'm happy with that. And now I want to add another photo box, and this one is approximately 5.5 by 4.5. And I'm going to fill this one with Midnight Muse as well. So let's come back up here under our cardstock. I was thinking it would be really nice if our computers My Digital Studio program was voice activated, so I could simply say fill with Midnight Muse and Midnight Muse would pop in. So someday technology, I'm sure, is possible for that. And now I want to add 2 photo boxes. You could also add just one, but I couldn't decide on just one photo that I wanted, so I'm actually going to do 2, and I just want a hint of blue around them. So we'll copy that and we'll paste it. See how close I got. So let's just make these, smush these up just a little bit closer together. There you go. And then you're simply just going to grab 2 photos, and I'll just grab any 2 for the moment. They aren't the 2 on the original project, but they were all cute. This is Teague's first birthday. It's our answer to the empty nest. I'm not sure what we were thinking. He is a lot of fun, but boy, a lot of work and responsibility and very little flexibility. Come on, pop in. Okay. And now I'm going to come down here to the global search feature, and I'm going to type the word chevron in. Now I want you to look over here on the right side in the design center. The photo design box is open. Okay, I want you to pay attention to that for just a second. I love My Digital Studio because it comes with a secretary that files my new downloads exactly in the box that they're supposed to, and it comes with a smart person. And that smart person is not me. So I'm going to click on Chevron. This is the one that I want to work with. And watch the Design Center. What I selected was a punch, and it recognized it as that, and now the Punch Design Center opened. What that means is I don't have to try to guess what it was that I just added, try to remember, reopen it, or whatever. It knows what I just added, and so it's going to give me the right design center. So I've got my chevron, and I'm going to come down here, and we're going to paper fill it. And we're going to paper fill it with paper from Blast Off. And because it's a punch now, I can left click on it twice, and I can make that print smaller, which is what I wanted to do. I want it to be a little smaller, just like that. And now let's copy, paste, paste, and one more. Okay, and now down here next to our global search feature is a zoom box. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm just going to zoom it to 200%. And now I'm going to be able to take these and I can line them up, and I can see that I'm getting them lined up. Okay, and now I'm going to come back down here, fit to window, and I have it. And now I have this piece hanging out on this side, and I have a couple of choices. I can expand my paper. Let me just slide this down a little bit so I can get the little box. I can expand my paper out there. Okay, and let's bring it back up. So I can expand my paper, which kind of cheats a little bit, but you know what? It works for me. So I'm going to expand my paper. The other thing is I could have put a punch over top of it, and I could have filled it with white to match the background. So it's kind of like cropping it or cutting it off. So we can do that as well. Okay, so now I have my 5 chevrons across the side over here. And now what I want to do is I want to click on my chevron. And I want to make sure that it's the only thing on the page that has the gray boxes around it. I'm going to hold the Shift key down, and I'm going to click on all of the other chevrons. So now you can see they all have gray boxes around them. I'm going to come up to the word Arrange on my toolbar. Third one down is the word Group, and I'm going to click on Group. And now there are solid lines around them, and they are all one happy family that is grouped together, and I can move them as such. And so I can copy and paste. Okay, come on. There we go. It's just being contrary. So, and then I can do that as many times as I want. The other thing that I can do now, okay, so I've got that copied and pasted a couple of different times. I can also save that group. So now I can write in chevron strip, and now it's saved. And on other projects, I can go ahead and I can import that group. I can come up here to Insert, Import Saved Group, and I can bring it in. I can ungroup it. I can change the color, the size, all of that. I can manipulate it because it's recognizing it as a My Digital Studio embellishment with all of the right file designations and stuff like that. So that's just a little tip for you. Next thing that we're going to do is we're going to add our soft suede ribbon. So where's my grosgrain? Right here. And we're going to come down here, soft suede. And again, you can use a global feature, or you can also just simply go to exactly what you want if you know it. And I want to make this ribbon, I'm going to make it 8.75 because we did make that larger. We'll see. I want to maintain the width that I see on the screen, and so I'm going to uncheck Keep Proportions. And now I'm going to have a ribbon that should be about the right size to go across. Okay, maybe I should have gone to 9 inches. Well, we'll just do it the old-fashioned way. Instead of being fancy typing it, we'll just drag it now to the end. Okay. Now I want this to be behind both photos and the photo box. I'm going to come up here to my Layer tool. And here you can see the soft suede ribbon is the last thing that I loaded. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to slide it. There's one photo. There you go. And I want to drop it right behind that Midnight Muse box. And there you have it. Okay, so now the next thing that I want to do is I'm going to add some banners to this. And one of my favorite are the ones that are in Sweet Little Punches. It's just the one that's my go-to banner. And I like this one because, again, I can manipulate it on all 6 sides. When it comes up here in just a second, you'll see that it has gray boxes, which means that I can shrink it from the side. I can also make it longer or skinnier. So it's one of the reasons why I really like working with Sweet Little One banners. So I'm going to just put that here. And I'm going to color fill it with Lucky Limeade. One of my other favorite greens. Midnight Muse, Lucky Limeade, Pool Party. A lot of my favorites are on this. Let's copy that because I want it to be that exact size. And I'm going to paste it. And then I want to mirror it because I want the points going up. And I'm just going to line it up right on top of it, the other one that's there, just like that. And then since I already have it on the screen, instead of going to look, I can paste again. And this time I'm going to make it a lot more narrower, excuse me. And we're going to fill this one with with Midnight Muse, with Island Indigo on the brain. And a project I was working with earlier today that used that, my other favorite blue. And then we're going to grab this and tip it. And let's take it out about, 102 looks fine. So like that. And now I do want that to be behind these other two. So just like that. And then you can simply add the words that you want to it. And then you can add, I used a staple from Staples and Stitching to secure it. So here's my staple. Rotate left. Let's make that a little bit more bigger. So now I've got a staple securing that, and of course you can add your greetings. The other thing that I added was come down here under Labels and Tags. Let's start with the Merry Medallion. Oops, just like this. One of my favorite, I use this all the time. I have to be careful. I have to ask myself, when was the last card that I used this on? There's actually a matching Big Shot die, so I use this a lot. The shape and the size of it really lends itself well to layering, adding pieces to the top of it, putting it under, all that kind of good stuff. So that's kind of like my go-to in apothecary accents. So let's go ahead and color fill this. And then I want to show you another cool feature. And then I'll just talk to you about the embellishments that we added. But another really cool feature of my digital studio too. We have a dressing room for punches. That's kind of fun. So I have that there. And now let me pull up here under Basics. Let's just grab this circle. This is actually going to end up under the medallions. But for right now, let's just put it on the top. And we'll color fill that white so that you can see that. But now the cool feature that I was telling you about is I've got a circle on here. And I may be thinking, I wonder if I would rather have a square, or wonder if I'd rather have a banner, or any of those other things. So while this is still highlighted and the Punch Design Center is open, down here it says Change Shape. If I click on Change Shape, my punch palette comes up, and now I can pick on that and I can apply it. And what's going to happen is it's going to apply it in the exact place that that circle was. If I don't like it, I can undo it, and I can come back down here, change shape. Let's see, there was a butterfly I just saw. Let's wonder what the butterfly would look like in its place. And so what's really nice is it adds that different shape in the exact spot that you were working with, which is a time saver. And to me, again, it's like taking a whole bunch of different shapes and sizes into the punch dressing room, trying them on, and then leaving with the one that you actually, want to keep. Of course, you can always, old school, bring this to the front instead of managing layers. You can also just manage your layers that way. So let's pop back over here to the original, and I'll just show you, in the interest of time, the few additional pieces that I added. I copy and pasted the banners that I was using, and I flipped them on their side. One is filled with soft suede, and one is paper filled with the blast paper, and they're just adjusted here on the end. I picked a number 1, and then ST, so first. I added, as you can see, the circle is filled with Pool Party, and it is behind the Mary medallion. I added a square punch that I elongated to form a rectangle, and then I simply just typed in 11/18/2012 with a text box, and I added a vintage faceted button, and they already come tied with the white baker's twine, which is wonderful. And then I just picked different greetings. I have a birthday set that has the words party animal in it. You can also add text. You can, instead of using greetings from a birthday set, you can simply add your own with the text box. You just simply come up here to text, insert text box, use any text that you have on your computer, any font style. Okay, My Digital Studio, as a reminder, does not come with fonts. It accesses any of the fonts that are already on your computer. Lots of cool free ones available for download. And then Smile Birthday Boy was another piece that I added. So I hope you had fun creating that page with me today. I hope that you enjoyed the little extra steps of creating a group, being able to save the groups and import the groups, as well as being able to try on different punches right on the page. So have an awesome day, and God bless.